Hey guys, Rochelle here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I am going to be doing a, what do you want to call it? I always have problems every single time with saying the right words for this. It's like, my May practice, my tarot practice, my Decan walk, my journals, it's just my May favorites, my May, whatever, all things May, right? Okay, so I did end up making a new journal, just a personal journal for myself. I'll probably end up making a full year one for next year for anybody to start, or anytime really, because they're copyable, so I always make mine generic usually so that you can add them as you want, like, the dates and all that. Because I was using a really gorgeous journal, and it was just too much for me. I didn't use half of the things. I like things simple. So I just made this. And we'll just go to May. So this was my May. Just like I said, just regular. It's just like my tarot planner, except for it's just super simple, no other stuff, just the monthly, and then you add pages to it. And I just kept it blank, and I just put my own stuff in there. I didn't like having the full big pages for daily because I just wasn't using them. So I went to this and just got the specific stuff that I wanted to keep track of in May. It's simple, easy peasy. A few pictures that I took in May, ending of it. And, well, I'll get to that in a bit, but I already set up June's. So everything, and my number for the month of June is 3. That's what that 3 is for down there. But so I put all of it. It was blank. I put all of it in there and then just put highlights on the dates that I have stuff already in my planner. Going forward, I changed and put like new backdrops. I made those to insert into, which, let me show you. So like these, I made these. See? In May, in order to use in planners going forward, different colors for different months. So anyways, let me go back to my basic. So I ended up using like the tannish colored one this time. And then, like my full moon information or my moon phases, my Decan, when we get deliveries. Any extra stuff that I want to fill out, we'll see how energetic I feel. And then in the back for all of my special areas. So that's how I changed it instead of putting it on daily. And then if I didn't remember, it was just easier doing it like this. So I will get to, oops. Let me go to my tarot journal first. So here is my monthly tarot journal for the Weaver's Monthly Medicine, which is the membership over on Don Michelle's channel, Don Michelle Tarot's channel. It was once upon a time. So this is just a brief showing the tarot practice that I did in May for that. The different spreads. And then the art that I like to put on it. I just really enjoy getting artsy with it, but at the same time doing, and this is what I've started for June's, which we don't have the first reading for a couple more days, I think. So, and that's going to be on Enchanted Realms. So, but they all start off like this, just blank pages. And I add more pages to them, all blank. So I add everything to it, which I need to do some videos on Plan With Me so that you can see as I add everything. From like my sticker book this month, I have added tons of new stickers. Like, I'll show you some of them really quick. These are all Zodiac ones. I suppose I can just go in order. These are like Faerie. These are like Green Witch and like Celtic. Egyptian. Just love the stickers. I love the stickers. And I've got so many that I got in May. So you are going to be seeing, because I just got them, like, I started getting them, like, I don't know, 10 days ago or so. And so you're going to be seeing a lot of these. Like, look at that. Is that not the cutest thing ever? I'm going to be seeing these in my journals. They're just gorgeous. They just keep going and going. But if you wanted to see, and I got most of these all on Etsy. So many talented artists. And I buy them when they're on sale. A lot of these I got for like a whole sticker pack for like $2, you know? Obviously, I love a lot of green and pinks too. Floral stuff, you know. I mean, look at some of these. Are those not just the most beautiful? It's so easy to make anything look really good when you have artwork like that in order to fill in your journal pages. You know, like, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just gorgeous. I'm still going through this Victorian, like, phase, or I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm definitely going through the botanical, and I think that's it. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I must have skipped a page. Now we go on to the last page, 5. These are all like apothecaries. Look at those. And look at how good the quality is. They look like they're really small, so you can blow these up on a full page and it look really good. The stickers are such high graphics, you know, just beautiful. It's like, look at that. Whew, that's gorgeous. Yeah. And here's like potion bottles and stuff. Just gorgeous. More. This is like Baroque, like peach colored Baroque. Just beautiful. Isn't that just stunning? And you don't have to use the whole picture. You can do like, cut out like parts of it, because you can, you know, crop these pictures. Look at those perfume bottles. Just gorgeous. Like, look at that palace. Gorgeous. So I just got a lot of these over the last couple of days, so I'm excited to use this stuff in some of my journaling. Look at, oh my goodness gracious. And because I do want to do like a group for Greek studies and stuff, like Greek gods and goddesses and stuff. So artwork for that as well. And a lot of this kind of stuff you can use like on your, which I should, on your thumbnails for your videos and all kinds of stuff. I mean, look at how cool. Look at the detail in those. It's just like never ending, right? Because the Enchanting Realms one is going to be of like nurturing, which has to do with water. So I'm going to do like mermaid stuff. I'm going to use mermaid decks mixed with this kind of artwork. Beautiful. Look at that candle. The starfish, seahorse, octopus. Got some shrooms. More shrooms. We've got more like darker tones of, look at that. That is so cool. Of witches. Absolutely stunning. Yeah. I'm telling you, I love digital so much. It's like in my blood now. Okay, so anyways, let me go back to my tarot journal. So decks I worked with the Victorian Romantic Tarot. And this was a rounding up, you know, the reading. And I also used the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. I used that on quite a few of them, as well as the Compendium of Witches. The Victorian Romantic again. This is the new one. My last video, or one of my last videos, because I'm not sure when this is going to come out, was this particular deck, the Twilight of the Gods Tarot, and it also had the Oracle. And then, of course, my Oracle of the Rose, which I just love so much. The Mystic Faerie Tarot. I put the name of them. See, Tarot of the Witch's Garden, so that I remember. And also Compendium of Witches up here. And you can write or like cursive. It doesn't look so easy to see until you do that. So for me, when my eyesight is getting worse, I love the romantic cursive and stuff like that. But from here, looking at it, it's not so easy to see. But when I blow it up, I can see it all. So I love that about it. So that was my month. And any of this stuff? Yes, yes, yes. So in May, the full moon was in Libra. And so I did a reading on that. And I used the Tarot at the End of the Rainbow. The last quarter moon was in Capricorn on the 12th. And I used the Medicine Woman. Did I put that in here? Oh, I don't think I did. No, I got to write that in. I used the Medicine Woman Oracle for that. It was so good. And then, and I don't think I put, damn it. What are you doing, Rochelle? I forgot to put the name for this one too. It's the Botanical Inspirations or something like that. It's upstairs, so I don't have it with me. For the new moon on the 19th, which was in Taurus. And then Leo, first quarter moon on the 27th. I used Tarot of Oneness just because the moon was in Leo around the first house area, which all has to do with you and your perspective and your like personal identity. So I thought the Tarot of Oneness would be perfect. And it was a really good reading. Really pretty much about getting back to nature and just enjoying it. And that's exactly what I did with it being Labor Day weekend or Memorial Day weekend. And we just did a lot of pool. We did gardening. We did cookout and just enjoyed it. And then this is what I have set up for my June moons because I do a moon membership. So this is part of the paper that I sent out. And then I've already got all of mine set up. I did change it. I was sending out 4 with my moon membership over on my Ko-fi shop, which I will be putting a link down below for that. But I was doing just the 4 different, new moon, full moon, last quarter moon, and first quarter moon, but I decided to change it up because actually what I was putting as the new moon was really the dark moon. And so I put in a new moon, approximate new moon time, because that's not really so easy to tell as far as when you can start seeing the sliver of, the lighted moon. So I used my best guesstimate on that. So I have included full moon, last quarter moon, and you actually get the charts and everything. Dark moon, new moon, and first quarter moon. So they're all set up and ready to go for when I do my readings. And the full moon is tomorrow. And as you can see, it is literally on the cusp of Scorpio and Ophiuchus. Now, in Western astrology, I believe that it said it's Sagittarius, but it's not. It's actually in Scorpio coming into Ophiuchus. So that's my moon stuff. And, oops, let me go over to my Decan walk. So if you remember right from my last month, I created a Decan journal, digital journal, just to make it easier on myself. So the Decans that we did in May, I believe were Decan 2 of Taurus, or the second Decan of Taurus, which was May 1st through May 10th. And what I do is an actual printout. So this one is supposed to be the moon in Taurus. Moon was actually in Virgo on the cusp of Leo. And the sun is not in Taurus at this point. It was still in the center of Aries. So when I am doing the Decan walk, I am doing research into different books and researching that particular, the history behind it as much as I can find, and the spirits and or gods that are associated with that said Decan from ancient times. I am also looking at the order of the Decans and how that works, which is something I've also figured out, which I'll show you here. So I want to, well, I'll get into that in a minute. That's actually not what I want to look at. So I did make a chart for anybody that's doing the Decan walk, to make it a little bit easier for somebody to understand. These are all of the Decans in order. These are the constellations in order from the first constellation to the last constellation for Western astrology. And this is their symbols. And this shows the different modalities. The modalities being C is cardinal, F for fixed, and M for mutable. And why that matters is because if you don't have a decan wheel in front of you and you want to truly understand how the decan system works, which is why I'm doing the decan walk, because it doesn't match up with the astronomy. It's maybe when they started doing it back then, I mean, in ancient times, that's what they were doing, was looking at the stars. And though that 10-day period, it was almost like creating an egregore, or they believed in certain gods for like burial rites back then. But we don't even actually truly know, according to research, what stars those were. So this is a system that was set up in place, and it's a system that's used by the Golden Dawn when they created the tarot decks. And this is how they do it. So depending on if it is a cardinal sign, a fixed sign, or a mutable sign, the different astrological signs. So if they're cardinals, it would be a 2, 3, and 4. So the 2s, 3s, and 4s in the minor arcana. If it's a fixed sign, astrological sign, then it's the 5, 6, and 7s. If it's a mutable sign, then it's the 8, 9s, and 10s. So because Aries is a fire sign, which I've also got these symbols down here to show you what those mean. Fire, earth, air, water. And this, although it is the symbol for Mars, it's also the symbol for the masculine, and that is the symbol for Venus, but it's also the symbol for femininity. So, or feminine. So, which I also show the polarities down here. But the reason I created this was to show how this actually works. So, and how much it really truly is a system that was designed. So Aries, if you look at the wheel, it goes cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable. It just goes right around the circle. It's not based on anything other than they wanted to create a system when they did it. And we've got fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, water. That is also in a cycle around it, around the astrological wheel. And then male, female, male, female, male, female. You see, it's all one big system, and that's how the system was set up. So if we know it's a cardinal and we know it's a fire, then we know it's going to be the 2, 3, and 4 of wands, because fire corresponds with the wands. That's how it was set up. Now, if you want to know the ruling planets for each decan, it starts with Mars, and then each consecutive decan, then it's Sun in whatever it is, Venus in whatever it is, Mercury, and it continues on, around, and around. So Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter. Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter. That's how the system works for the decans. So I just created this yesterday. And to understand, I also put into mind to understand what cardinal qualities are, what fixed qualities are, and what mutable qualities are, to give you a little bit more insight. That's what I put into mine. It's not part of this, but I am going to be putting this file, because it's a picture, see? I'm going to be putting it in the Amethyst Ascension group, where you can get it for free if you're a group member. Okay? So, and I've also got it in a PDF form, or no, it's not a PDF. It's just a regular PNG, but it's got a white back, so you can print it off onto a piece of paper if you wanted to do that, and, you know, put it into, but I've also got one that's no background, so you can print it off onto like some colored paper if you wanted to, or use it in a digital planner like what I do. So, and make it look good on whatever background you have. So, like I said, I will be putting a link to the Amethyst Ascension group. If you're not a member, make sure that you answer the questions in there and agree to the rules, or you will not be approved for that group. And that will be free in the files. So anyways, let me go back to... So another thing I want to mention is, because something that I noticed while I am doing this Decan walk is that much of the energies people are really noticing with each Decan. It's almost like they're afraid of, and I can't say this for certain, but just from what I have observed, like the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords, which we're in right now, the Nine of Swords. But the Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, and even like the last one's a Five of Pentacles, Six was good, and then Seven of Pentacles. It's like people took on those energies, even though that's truly not what is in our sky right now. It's not a universal energy. These are energies in a tarot system. But it shows me how egregores work, just like how the tarot works. And I believe that each one of these Decans is, in fact, an egregore, which is an occult concept representing a non-physical entity that arises from the collective thoughts of a distinct group of people. Historically, the concept referred to angelic beings or watchers and the specific rituals and practices associated with them, namely within Enochian traditions. Hence, using the Decans where they were first found on the coffin lids or sarcophagus lids of ancient Egyptians when somebody would pass away, in order to get like leniency or a smooth, I don't know, afterlife, or, you know, favor from the gods or spirits that were controlling or were said to control that particular 10-day period. In more recent times, the concept has referred to a psychic manifestation or a thought form which occurs when any group shares a common motivation, being made up of and influencing the thoughts of a group. So it's not that I don't think that these things are real. They're absolutely real. Don't get me wrong. But I believe, like what I've said with my grandmother, who would read the newspaper every morning for her horoscope, and it's like unconsciously she did everything in her day in order to make her horoscope come true. So the more that you focus on something like a particular Decan, like the Lord of Success, for the second Decan of Taurus, which we went through that, and then the second one, which I'll show you how I did, and that's still second. And then the next one was the Lord of Failure for the third Decan of Taurus, which was the Seven of Pentacles. It's like a group of people that are recognizing this stuff. It affects them. It affects their life because they are creating egregores, or the group itself, a group consciousness, is creating these. That's what I have really observed during this walk thus far. And maybe because I'm not taking on those energies, a lot of the stuff that I'm hearing other people that are going through during these, maybe that's why it's not affecting me the same way. Because see, like this is supposed to be Saturn in Taurus. Well, Saturn is clearly in Aquarius right now, and the sun is still technically on the third Decan of Taurus, still in Aries, truly in the sky. So that is another part of why I am doing this journey, is to see where the sky really is, what, you know, where the sun truly is, where these planets truly are in comparison to what the tarot says, what these Decans say, and how we can take on those energies. So what I have done, like in the first or the second Decan of Taurus, I am also reading through several different books with each one of them, which I'll discuss that in a minute. But one of the books that I am, let me find it here. No. In my basic journal. Okay. The different books that I'm doing with this are 36 Secrets, A Decanic Journey, Tarot and Astrology, the only astrology book that you'll ever need, The Sun's Paces, and Astrological Secrets of the Decans. Those are both on my Kindle, which is on this. Journaling the Tarot Evolutions. That is what I am using each period for these particular questions. And I've talked about this before. The book that because I'm trying to get a deeper understanding of the card and why it is that Decan, so that it is another layer that I'm adding to my tarot readings and my tarot experience in general. So the questions that you could ask for the second Decan in Taurus for, what was it, the Six of Pentacles, was, what gift can you give another this week? How will you do so? What gift can you give yourself this week? Why would that be meaningful? What gift would you like to give the world and why? Who depends on you? Why? How do you feel about that? Who do you depend on? Why is that? How does that make you feel? Currently, what is the motivation behind your decision-making? Fear, love? What do you think that is? What is the best fit that you have ever received? It's supposed to be gift. What mode is so meaningful? Oh, boy, I'm typing too fast. What made it so meaningful and what was the best gift? I got to obviously go back through these. Do you believe that you are being fairly compensated for the work that you do? What would fair compensation look like? What strikes you as being unfair in your life, and how can you best manage the emotions that brings up? What might your next step be? Think back over the past month for what are the most that you are grateful for, and how many things can you list? What is something good that happened to you during the past week, and why do you think that occurred? Now, this book that I'm talking about is got like 3-4 pages and quotes for each card. So it'll give you a better understanding, especially if you're brand new. But even if you're not, and you're a more advanced reader, it might give you different ways of looking at that particular card. So, and there's like roughly 59, 60 questions for each card in the whole tarot system. So that's what I'm doing. I go through and I pick like 10 or 11 or 12 or however many I have room for, and that correspond to that particular card, that I can, further explore myself. I can either do writing in journals over it, or just asking those questions to myself and in my mind answering them. It's just still pondering, and it's given me a better understanding of the Six of Pentacles. Then I'm also using the Radiant Sun Oracle, and each one of them has a Decan card. So, there's more than just the Decans, but it explains what, for instance, what the moon in Taurus means astrologically. The moon is security, Taurus is material value. And it talks about that energy. This was a spread that the beautiful Marlena did. So this was my copy of it and my write-up on it. And then we move to the next Decan. And not much found on this Decan god in ancient Egyptian, in which it originates. It is also associated with Apopus and Kircher, or Apopus, also known as Apep or Apopus or Apophis. He was an ancient Egyptian deity who embodied chaos and was thus the opponent of light and Mont, order and truth. He appears in art as a giant serpent. Apep was first mentioned in the 8th dynasty. He was known as the threaded enemy of Ra, and also the Lord of Chaos. He He was also said to be the sibling of Ra, also known as the evil dragon and also as a crocodile. Definitely some reptilian links here. This makes me think of the serpent in the Garden of Eden and also the great serpent who is the adversary to God. Could this be referring to Satan, and is Satan indeed Saturn? All very interesting because we're talking about Saturn in Taurus and Satan, Saturn. That was what I took out of that particular association from the gods that were associated with that 10-day period. And then more questions for the Seven of Pentacles, which would be, what is something rewarding that you are currently doing? What makes it so meaningful? How do you keep yourself from burning out? Is there something that you need to change in your life that would help you in that endeavor? What does it mean to stop and smell the roses? Is that something that you tend to do? What is something that you worked hard to attain? How did it feel to finally reach that point? Do you have any regrets, lessons learned? What should you put on hold? Why? How will you go about doing so? And then just more questions revolving around the Seven of Discs. And then yet again, we have the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and it is ostentation for Saturn in Taurus, and it goes on to talk about what Saturn-Taurians, the ambition is served by the material achievements gained through a great ability to sense the value of things and also to make them grow. And there's more about it. I'm telling you, the Oracle of the Radiant Sun is excellent if you're doing the Decan walk. And then the spread that Marlena, also provided for us, which she puts them in the Boho Tarot group by Dawn Michelle. Every Decan, and she makes her videos. I highly recommend going. She gives really good insight into each Decan. And then that's my spread and my write-up. And then we moved into May 21st through June 20th. We talk about Gemini. Currently we're in the Decan of Gemini, the 3 Decans of Gemini. And Gemini is ruled by Mercury and corresponds to the 3rd house. They are known for being intelligent, mental, bright, alert, witty, curious, inquisitive, learns easily. They're knowledgeable, verbal, sociable, talkative, linking, articulate, communicative, clever, dual versatile, lighthearted, changeable, flexible, and studious. They are also, now I am talking about the good and the bad, the good aspects and the not so, the shadowy aspects also of Geminis, and how that can be seen in the Decans. So they can also be known to be wordy, gossipy, nosy, spacey, shallow, unemotional, impatient, high-strung, and scattered. The 3 Decans of Gemini have the visiting planets of Jupiter, Mars, and the Sun, and correspond to the 8th, 9th, and 10 of Swords. So this is going to be where I write up a little bit about what I experienced during the whole 3 Decans of Gemini. But the first Decan, which was Jupiter in Gemini, is the 8 of Swords, Lord of Interference. This was the image from ancient Egyptian that was found on the sarcophagus lid. And what I wrote is, I did a lot of searching for the other gods and goddesses associated with this Decan. However, I did find one, which is Tethys. She is a Titan goddess who is the daughter of Gaia and Uranus. Her consort was Oceanus, the primordial sea. She was the mother of the oceans, ocean nymphs, and also the Potamois, gods of the rivers of the world. I find it super cool that she is depicted with wings sprouting out of her forehead, which makes me think of the third eye, or that divine connection with our higher selves, which is how I see the Gemini personally. Some say two-faced, but I say has a very definite connection to their spirit self. and therefore learns their lessons quickly and then can teach them. But most learn first but they must learn that first in order to teach. This starts in the mind and is carried through our emotions also. Now, just like every time I have to, the actual decan, it's supposed to be Jupiter in Gemini. We can see that Jupiter is on the cusp of Pisces and Aries, and the sun is not in Gemini, it is in Taurus. So these are not truly universal energies that are happening with these decans. They are egregores, in my opinion. And so the Eight of Swords, some of the questions that could be asked, and I use the Fyodor Pavlov tarot, nudity alert. These are some of the questions that were in the book that I used. What is something that you find yourself often complaining about? Remember, this is the card Eight of Swords. How might it be true that you actually have way more power than you admit to make a change in that area of your life? What is stopping you from using that power? In what area of your life are you feeling frustrated? Where might the solution lie? How might tapping into your creative side provide the answer that you seek? What does it mean to be free? Do you believe that you are free? How so? Who and what has an impact on the degree of freedom that you have? Who or what is limiting your growth? How does that make you feel? What is your next step? How are you keeping yourself small and why? What is the path to your liberation that you haven't yet considered? Is there an aspect of your emotional health that you have been ignoring? If so, what are the benefits of doing so? The cost? What might you do next? And like I said, these are all just questions that are in that book. And then the write-up from the Oracle of the Sun, Radiant Sun, and then my spread. And oh my goodness, did this spread just totally call me out. Totally. So this was the spread that was created by Marlena. You got to get down, Bubba. And it's a wonderful spread. But I changed it up a little bit for myself because, and maybe I didn't understand properly, but how do I engage with these ideas of fate, free will, duality, and convergence? And then in relation to others. I didn't do in relation to others because I think there are so many different beliefs that people have around all this stuff that I can't say it's others. So what I did was myself, this ego person on earth, and then I use this as my higher self to kind of give me maybe like higher understanding, if so, right, on each of these topics for this particular Eight of Swords. So asking about fate, because there was talk of fate and free will and all that within like the 36 decans, 36 faces, fate, free will, duality, and convergence. And I got I got the Five of Wands for fate because I have varied beliefs when it comes to fate versus like free will kind of thing. And I got the Five of Wands, so it's like I'm conflicting with myself because I believe it kind of like merges, you know what I mean? But for my higher self, like schooling me, I got Cassiopeia, and Cassiopeia says like, you are arrogant and you are, what did it say? I can't remember exactly, but more or less telling me, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to fate and the difference. All the other ones were okay, but that one, it just totally ripped me a new one. So, and I also used the Twilight of the Gods, Tarot, the Delphic Maxim. And that's my write-up on it, on the spread. And this is the one that we are in right now, the Nine of Swords. It just began yesterday, and it is for Mars in Gemini. And I have to show it. Mars is actually in Cancer right now. And The sun is in the well, pretty much the middle of Taurus. It's not in Gemini right now. So, but I just had to do that. And then the questions that I have and the cards that I'm using are from the Light Seers, because the Light Seers feels very Gemini energy to me. But what keeps you up at night? Why? How might the Serenity Prayer help? Who or what is bringing you down? How so? What is your path to relief? What do you often find yourself ruminating about? Why do you think that is? What must you do in order to give yourself a break? What is something that you hate about your life, and why do you feel that way? What must you do in order to address it? In what area or areas of your life do you believe that you are powerless, even though the truth is that you do have the power to make a change? For it is fear this has convinced you otherwise. Right. What do you regret and why? How will you make peace with what happened? How do you now know to be true? Or what do you now know to be true? And how does that make you feel? What will you do about it? Because this is the Tower and the Lovers that creates more or less the Nine of Swords moment. So, what do you now know to be true? So, like that Tower moment, that's what we're getting with Mars, that confrontational, aggressive energy of Mars coming in contact with Gemini, which is super intelligent. It's like a clashing, right? So, more questions. What makes you feel depressed? How might you best process what is happening? If your depression had a message for you, what would it be? What is overwhelming you? How did it get to be this bad? What are your options for finding relief? What is your greatest nightmare? How might you temper its impact on you? And just because you think it doesn't make it true, what messages are you telling yourself that cause you suffering? How can you challenge them? Determine their veracity. What can you replace them with? So these are all questions to ask yourself during, or that I'm asking myself during the second Decan in Gemini, which is Mars in Gemini, which is the Nine of Swords. And then the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, again, the write-up about Mars in Gemini and what that means. And then the spread, which I have not done the spread yet because I just got this yesterday. So, and I have not done anything else. I have done like all of the, yeah, that's about as much as I've done. I did do all of the charts for all the Decans and to see where they all are and all that. But I think I have touched base on everything. So yes, I am. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. I know this is going to be really long, you guys. So the books that I am reading right now with the Decan are the ones that I talked about, the 36 Secrets, A Decanic Journey. I read each Decan as we go, read about each Decan as we go. Tarot and Astrology, the only astrology book. Now I'm looking at the astrological correspondences with each one as I'm reading through that. The Sun's Paces and the Astrological Secrets of the Decans, and Journaling the Tarot Evolutions. Those are all Decan heavy books with the Weavers membership. With the so I read several of the Grimm's fairy tales, reading the Self-Worth Path in the Lisa Pepez membership. I started reading more of the Tarot Activity book because I want to do more tarot activities on the channel. Still reading the Ancestral Tarot and doing ancestral work. Books that I finished was The Witch's Shield. That was by Christopher Penczak. That was actually really good. Really, really good. And I agreed with the ethics behind that book and using protection energy or magic and all that. That's how I feel also, for the most part. I am listening to Anatomy of a Witch. I probably got about 5 hours left of that, 4 hours maybe. Sisters of the Solstice Moon, it's still actively, I'm still listening to it. I've got quite a few hours left of that. The Ancient Giants Who Ruled America, that's a new book I just started reading. One book that I finished also in May is Haunting Adelaide, which is a dark, I don't even know how to, it's like smut, okay? It's like really bad. I mean, it is about a guy who abducts a girl, and he is actually like he owns a company that is trying to stop like human trafficking and ritual deaths and stuff like that. And he sees this girl and he's like obsessed with her. And I tell you, it pissed me off that I actually even liked the book. It's a good book, but it pissed me because some of it I was just like, I wanted to bitch slap both of the main characters, both of them. I'm just like, what is wrong with you? You know, but it left in a cliffhanger. So I definitely want to get the next book. It was like 15-hour book, it was really good. I also finished Hecate, Goddess of Witches. I thought that was really good. I have a couple other books on Hecate that I'm going to be starting soon. So the decks I worked with, and I'm not even sure if I got them all in here. The Bonestone Earthflesh I worked with, Tarot of the Witch's Garden, the Mystic Faerie Tarot, the Oracle of the Rose, the Tabula Mundi, Twilight of the Gods Tarot, the Medicine Woman Oracle, Tarot at the End of the Rainbow, Compendium of Witches, Fyodor, Pavlov. Yeah, I'm sure I worked with more. Now, movies and series that I watched. So movies, I watched 65. That was actually pretty good. That was, gosh, I can't remember the actor's name. The guy who played Kylo Ren. He was not an Earthling, but him and a group of people 65 million years ago took their craft and like crash landed on Earth 65 million years ago, and he's fighting off dinosaurs and stuff like that before the asteroid is supposed to come or whatever. It was really good. Queen Charlotte from the Bridgerton. It's like a series, the third season, I think. It was so good. Gosh, I loved it so much. I love Bridgerton. I highly recommend it. I thought it was just brilliant. I loved all the actors. I love how they mix it up and they add modern stuff with historical stuff. It's just really cool. Queen Cleopatra, I did watch it because I love all things Cleopatra. It was just okay. I was not really thrilled with it, to be honest with you. Another series I'm watching on Apple, no, it's on Amazon, I think, Amazon Prime, or it's on one of them. It's called Citadel. And it's with the guy that played in Game of Thrones as the older, not Jon Snow, but his older brother. Damn it. That's my memory so bad. And anyways, they like lose their memory and they get attacked. They were like Citadel. It's kind of like a CIA kind of thing. It's pretty good so far. People We Hate at Weddings. I can't remember if I watched this the end of last month, well, April or in May, but it was really a funny comedy with the girl from, oh my God, I can't even remember. I'm not even going to talk about that one because I can't even remember the actors or anything. Then we watched another one, a movie called Marlowe, or started watching it with Liam Neeson, and it was just I couldn't even finish it. And I usually always have to finish movies, but I couldn't even finish it. I was too bored with it. A lot of actors and actresses in it, but and you know what I find? Usually when there's a bunch of actors in it, they just don't even do as good. I don't know. A series that I finished like 3 seasons of was Sex Education. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was on Netflix, and it was really good. Another movie I watched with Gerard Butler and another guy plane. The plane crashes, and they get stuck behind like enemy lines, and it's like a fight for survival in a country where it's like run by drug lords and all kinds of stuff. I can't remember. Was it Myanmar? No, it wasn't. I can't remember what country it was that they went down. Another movie that I really loved that was super funny was called Ghosted. And that's with Chris, not Pine, not Pratt, Chris. My memory is so crappy. Oh my gosh. He was the Captain America. But anyways, he thinks he's getting ghosted by a girl, so he tracks her down. Goes to another country, wants to surprise her, and she is like an agent, and she's got to like protect him, and they end up like fighting together and stuff, but there's tons of funny parts in it. It's like a funny action flick. It was really good. I had been talking with Courtney, and we had been talking about like old, like 70s, like gruesome movies and stuff. And she was talking about I Spit on Your Grave, or we were talking about I Spit on Your Grave. And so I found the remake and watched that. And oh my goodness, that girl gets some revenge. Like, whoo, yeah. You want to, it was good. It's not something you want to watch every day, but man, she got some revenge on all those boys that like raped her and tried to kill her, thought she was dead. Another series my husband and I are watching is called The Yellow Jackets. That is about a girls' soccer team. Their plane crashes, and they are in the wilderness for roughly like 19 months or so. And this is a series that goes like flashes back to when they were there, and you're still trying to figure out, because we're only on the first season. We haven't even finished the first season. We're watching like one a night or whatever when my husband gets home. But it's really good. The girls are, it's like ruthless, right? From what I understand, they're really ruthless, and the second season's already come out, so I don't know a whole lot other than, they do some, that they resort to cannibalism and stuff. But that's really, you don't really get details as far as I am like in the series right now. Ted Lasso, oh my gosh. We just watched the last one for this season, and it's probably over, which we just love Ted Lasso. Such a good, feel-good show on Apple. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But I love like team shows, team spirit, kind of that camaraderie, and I just love it. Another movie was Dungeons and Dragons, the movie with Chris Pine. That was okay. It was good. It was entertaining. Was it spectacular? No, but it was good. Projects. I will try, well, I probably won't. I'll have to do another video. I started my garden, which you guys know, and I'm pretty much a jalapeno gardener in the raised beds. They're doing really good. And a couple tomato plants. I did make a digital planner, the basic one, but I am working on a massive journal right now. I had to take a break because it's just like, there's like 600, not quite 600 linked. They're all linked pages. So this is going to be something that I'm making for myself, of course. All these journals I make for myself, and then thank other people. If I can use it, other people can probably use it as well. So I will be selling it once it's done, but it's quite the undertaking. And I'm over halfway done with it, but it's still just a lot of tedious work. We opened our pool, did yard work, the gardening, edging some decks. So there's some channels that I want to mention, and I'm going to be putting links down below to their channels. that I'm really enjoying, and some are newer to me. That is Monica over at with Sunday Oracle. Tammy Pie. She's got a few, quite a few videos out now, I think. She's still really, really brand new, and she's supported for a long time. So, you know, if you get a chance, go and check her out. She's also doing the Decan walk, I believe, and showing, I think she is. Gosh, I watch so many channels, you guys. Nova Luna Tarot. Nova, she is showing all of her decks. She's got an extensive deck collection, and she's doing other hashtags and stuff. She's got a beautiful collection. And she's just doing like, you know, 10 decks at a time or whatever, and showing you them and talking about them and her love of them. It's just, I'm enjoying her channel big time. Giselle, I always enjoyed Giselle. The way that she talks, it's like she doesn't know anything, but she knows so much. She is so friggin' wise. It's amazing, you know, and her art, the sewing and stuff she does, everything is just so beautiful. And I just could listen to her forever. Tammy Van Antwerp, she does self-worth Sundays or self-love Sundays practices. And she does like journaling and tarot stuff. And she makes just the most beautiful journals and, you know, not digital, paper journals and junk journaling, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Antoinette, you know, Tony, Antoinette Intuitive Tarot and Jewelry. I always enjoy watching hers as well. And Gina Word Nerd, she is a newer channel as well. I've been enjoying her. Carrie's Mystical Musings. I enjoy Carrie as well. This is something that I'm going to be doing in all of these videos from now on. Anyone that I'm watching, especially like the newer ones that I'm discovering, I want to put, you know, links down and, you know, try to get other people over to their channels as well. A lot of them have smaller channels, so go and give support. And Nisi Learns to Tarot is another newer channel. I've been watching hers. She's only got maybe 5 videos out now. She's brand new as well. And some of the YouTube that I have enjoyed in May was some of the tags. What tarot is. So many people have done this. I've watched several of them. The way that they talk about tarot and what tarot is just absolutely stunning and beautiful. And I might end up doing it. I might not. I'm not sure yet. Just whatever I have time for, and if I have the energy to do it. One Deck Gone Wild. Still, I loved watching all of those. I'm sure that I've missed some that have put them up, but I am enjoying what I have seen. When the Tarot Asks, thank you for anyone that has done that. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I just did When the Oracle Asks. And I'm going to continue to do these for different decks to showcase them. And I'm enjoying that very much. Garden Arcana, that was started by Thea and Candy. I love those. I don't have a garden good enough in order to be able to do that, really. But their gardens are both absolutely amazing. And the way that they incorporate their tarot in their gardens is just a beautiful thing. So I've been really enjoying watching those. I enjoyed tarot reviewer questions, listening to what people feel about, you know, tarot reviewers from the watchers and the ones that do the reviews. The Decan Walk 2023, I have really been enjoying watching those, especially Marlena Teresa and her takes on each one of them. And I highly suggest going over, if you're not already, and watching her channel. She does just beautiful stuff. And I like watching the monthly wrap-ups, seeing what people are watching, what they're reading, just like this, what they've been doing, their journals, what decks they're working with. Yeah, all that. So that is my entire, I don't even want to see how long this is. Oh my gosh. If you are still here, thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I am sending you love always.